Hello there and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about batteries, and specifically these batteries, the ones for the DJI Crystalsky as well as the Cendence remote controller. Now I managed to kill one of these last week accidentally, and in this video I'm going to show you what you can do to recover it if you accidentally do it. Now first of all, I've got to say I only recommend this if you know about LiPo batteries and how to recover them. If you've never done it before, I strongly advise walking away. I'd only say to do this as well if the battery's been left for a short period of time, because if it's happened for a long period it's probably toast. Now what I did was accidentally leave the battery go beyond flat and it would not even turn on. The button was dead, it wouldn't work, it wouldn't do anything. So what I had to do then was break the battery open, have a look at the cells and check the voltage, and what I found was the voltages were down to below 3 volt, and that meant the battery wouldn't work. What we then did was charge it back up with a normal LiPo charger, just like this one here, on both cells, and then I was able to put it back on the DJI charger, top it off, and then it's now working. What we're going to do in the rest of this video is show you exactly what I did, have a look inside the battery, and hopefully give you an idea if you do need to do this yourself. Okay, so taking a closer look at the battery, the first thing you will need to do is get inside it. Now what I did to get inside this battery was very simply take a Stanley blade, lay it flat in this groove that runs all the way around the battery and gently prise it back and forth. And what I found was when you did that, it broke the glue seal that runs all the way around the battery, and I was able to actually then lift the back cover up. Just like that. Now when you do that, the way the lid comes off is you need to gently unhinge it from the connectors that are on this side here. So when you do it and you've prized it all the way around and it pops free, you simply need to hinge it up like that, and that then reveals the battery that is sitting inside the case. Now what you've got at the top is the control board, which controls the battery, and that's the battery management circuit, and you can then see one of the cells down the bottom here. Now to get the battery out from the front bit of the housing, I had to do a bit of gentle persuasion with a very thin bit of plastic and gently prise it up, because it is stuck in place with like sticky pads. But once you do that, you are then gently able to withdraw the battery, flip it forward, give it a gentle wiggle, and then the battery will come out of the housing like that. Once the battery is out of the housing, you can see that you have your main control board on the top, which houses your connections as well, and you can see the electronic circuitry on there with the connectors along the bottom. You've then got two little wires that come off down to a temperature probe, which is hiding just behind there. Flipping it round to the other side, you can see then the test button, and that's the button that you press on the front of the battery, that one there, to check what the capacity is, with the LEDs located across the side. Then you can see the cells. Now this battery contains 2 cells. It is a 2S battery, and if we just gently flip it to this side and peel back the plastic protection material on the side, you can actually see the 2 cells located next to each other. Now it is a 2S battery in series. However, that series connection is handled inside the control board. As it stands here now turned off, they are basically 2 independent cells. This cell and this cell. They are not in series and they are not paralleled up. They are entirely separate on their own. So to be able to recover these, you actually have to charge them one at a time. That's probably the best way of doing it. Now the first thing you will need to do is check the voltage. If you look closely at the battery, they are actually labelled up. You can see I've put marks on as well, and I did this to aid myself when I was doing it. However, on each cell it does say the voltage and the polarity on each side. So you've got a little plus down here and a little minus down there, and it says 3.8 volt, and that is the nominal voltage of the battery. It's the same when you flip it round for the other side. Under this little plastic it says 3.8 plus, and then there is a negative in that corner there. Now this battery is connected to the board via these little tags at the top you can see here. So on this side you can see that there are 2 little metal tags that come out the top of the battery and go to the board, and on this side you can see the one tag on one side and there's a bit of paper on the other. That is where you would A, measure the voltage, but B, also charge that individual cell. Now to measure the voltage, I simply take a multimeter, a normal one just like this. We put our probes into the meter, And then what we need to do is measure the voltage on these tags that I showed you hiding just under there. Now I found the easiest way to do this is actually go in from the side, and this is the reason I labelled it up a bit more, so I could actually see it a bit easier. Now what we're going to do is go in on the side on this side and in on the side on this side, gently go to the tags, and you can now see that my multimeter, if I put it in view, has changed to 4.23 volt. Now I have already recovered this one, and that's why it is at that voltage. However, when I first went into it, it was actually down to 2.3 volt per cell, and that was the same on both cells, and that means they were basically totally flat, and normally you would actually class that as toast. Not worth repairing. However, the reason I was able to recover it was only at that voltage for a few days. A normal LiPo should never go below 3.3 volt a cell. A flat LiPo is about 3.6. At 2.3, it is totally flat. If it had been left that way for a few weeks, it would have been for the bin. It's as simple as that. However, because it was only a day or so, I was able to recover it. And the way we did that is with a standard LiPo charger. Now, as I mentioned at the start, you would only do this if you knew what you were doing. You would not do this if you didn't have a LiPo charger or you were not confident doing it. And the way I actually did it was with these probes and my cables attached to a normal LiPo charger, just like this one here. And what I simply did was take the probes out of the multimeter, pop them into my LiPo charger, so that one there, and then what we did was we went in on one side very gently, and then we went in on the other side, and what I then did was placed it down on the table like that, set my charger to 1S 1 amp charge rate. Now I would strongly advise not charging it any more than 1 amp. Although these batteries can charge at a faster rate, only set your LiPo charger to 1S for the voltage and 1 amp. And what I then did was charge this cell on this side up to 4.2 volt. When that one was recovered, I simply removed the probes, flipped it over to the other side, and then charged the other cell again up to 4.2 volt. Once I had then done that and both cells were at the same voltage, I checked it again with a multimeter, made sure it was correct. I put the battery back together nice and easily, making sure that we get the button on the right side, popping it in like that, gently then taking the housing, putting it over the top. I then placed it back on the DJI charger and finished it off, because after I charged it, it still didn't turn on here. It needed to go onto the DJI charger to top it up, and then it finished charging it, and then the battery I was able to use. And I have actually put a full cycle on this, and it has worked absolutely perfectly, no problems whatsoever. Now that is how I recovered the battery on this. Again, I would only advise doing this if you are fully confident recovering LiPo batteries. Please don't try this if you're not. It is only for guys who are experienced and who are aware of what can actually go wrong. That is pretty much it for this video. If this has helped you, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope I've been able to give you a bit of information, and I will do another video again soon. And that is it for this video. If you've liked what you've seen, please do check out, we have over 150 videos on this channel, covering everything from DJI right through to the Pixhawk 2 and various other things. We've also got them separated into playlists as well that help you navigate to the ones that might be relevant for you. If you like what you see on the channel, please do subscribe. There is a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of every video, and by doing that you will receive updates on any videos that we release in the future. Finally, there are some links to the products we talk about in the description for each video. I would really appreciate it if you are going to buy a product, if you would like to buy via those links. By supporting the channel, it allows us to keep buying products to be able to talk to you guys about. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll do another video again soon.